So you're saying we had a man locked up in a cage that was actually an alligator?
Mm-hmm.
And we had him labeled as such. Do you know much about this character?
I have his file right here.
Ah. Okay. Yeah. He was a biologist. And he had an experiment not go well. And he got transformed. We didn't think much of. We were just keeping him safe.
Alligator Hulk.
Well, see, I went and looked at the cage that he was in,
Yeah.
and it's not one of the, like, secured cages. If I was in it, I could open it easily.
So you're saying he could have somehow opened it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he was learning how to change back some, he was just straight up an alligator. We found him in his room. We weren't even sure if that's who he was until we did DNA and found 2 layers of genetics, one a recessive, that showed what we believed to be him. So you say maybe he escaped.
And I believe he may be responsible for the other ones.
Huh.
Alligator Man.
Well, that would explain the mud skipper. He could have ate it.
If you could catch it.
Well, it's not that hard.
You're not even here!
Oh, sorry, just talking to myself.
Sounds in the air. There. Ghost. Call a ghost hunter. The girl ones, they look like they were fun. She doesn't care for the boy ones. So, interesting. And I guess he could have gone to some of the other ones. Or could have just accidentally let them out somehow and they escape. So we got to find him, basically, like, if we find him.
I have a...
Do you think that's what Linda saw back there?
And it's back to her.
Well, she kind of made it into the press situation.
Well, I do have to come clean. I was back there with
Yeah.
Chase. Not doing the little chorus stuff that Linda was doing with Troy.
Well, of course not. Okay.
But,
Awful defensive sounding, though.
I have a reason to believe that he is in the swamps.
Okay.
There's footprints, when I was following the footprints, I heard a large splash into the water.
So you know if he might be sticking somewhat close.
I believe so.
Interesting. What do you got about any of the other ones? Find information or anything? Or are we going to go with he ate them all?
Well, we know about the crab.
Yeah. That's 2. I think there were 6.
The egg is missing.
Yes. Which, I guess we're back to he ate it, maybe?
Honestly, I'm not pointing fingers or anything. I'm just letting you know that Sylvia was there the day before this all happened, checking on the egg, and she hasn't been in the labs for like a couple months. Then all of a sudden, they call her in to check out that egg. 'Cause I guess it was putting off icy ores or something like that.
Yeah.
And it came up missing the same day.
So what we got left is an avian, an owl, more specifically, and, well, the mud skipper.
Mud skipper might be in the swamp.
Yeah. The mammal, I believe it was a cat, And, well, we've found the crustacean. What do you have on the cocoon? Or the egg?
Not much. I talked to Sylvia today about it.
Okay.
And she said, yeah, she was there looking at it the day before it happened.
Ah.
That's how I know it was putting off icy vibes.
Okay. Give me a second. She takes the phone. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm talking to her right now. Yeah. Yeah, you came by the day before. Yeah, we've got film on that. Yeah, you told me you came by to see. Well, we asked you to look at it. Well, she pointed out something that I hadn't realized. It was putting off cold all this time, slowly increasing. Reports on it the day before it disappeared, after that point, showed no temperature. Yeah, I do think so. No, I understand why. It's just... Well, I'm going to tell her. Well, if we're hoping she's going to be reasonable with us on all this, we should be honest. Okay. Then you can just continue to do what you're doing, and I'm going to do what I do. Thank you. Change the phone. Okay. You don't have all the footage.
No, I don't.
No, there's other footage in the lab, but just the labs have. From cameras and stuff like that. From the monitors on the cameras, or on the computers. That. I had something I was suspecting, and you see the temperature changed on it. It was so cold, but it wasn't radiating cold. And that night, it seemed to just disappear. It was on the camera one moment. There was an explosion in the lab, and it was gone. The cage wasn't damaged, though. And it was still locked. But it was gone. I'm not sure on that how that was done for her. And she goes over and she hits a little button underneath her desk. The door's locked. It's okay. On that one, I suspected what had happened. It seems the claim is it happened just at the same time that this other happened. The egg was a creature in early stages. It's a lizard-like creature. Problem is, at certain points, it was discovered that they would be born and then they would die. They usually had a bond to something, to a mother or something. So, it looks like she said facilitated a chip made to assist in this bonding so it could bond to something else and therefore maybe would survive infancy. It was another experiment in one of the labs here, and he has it now. He doesn't know the full issues of it all yet, but he is being observed.
It wouldn't happen to be the guy from the circus. think his name's Aries.
Not that I know of. I don't know of an Aries listed as any of our test subjects at any time, but we could also check some of the other sites. It could have been more along the military side, and we may not have seen it in here. Have you met anyone with this name?
Up at the circus.
Okay, you're getting pretty good at this. Investigating stuff. We'll keep an eye on you. But let's put it this way. Fat Lady, that's the name she goes by now, and Strong Man were both here in experiments that were related to the crab. About density and weight and gain. Because the crab had done this before, when he gets panicked. We were trying to find out what it was so we could stop it from doing it. Or at least find a way that we could maybe... One theory was to replicate it for using crabs for, like, cattle, for food. They're actually pretty resilient and can live on a lot of stuff that most can't. They're scavengers. Now, these are unusual creatures that have been being found here and there. It could be some mutation going on. Reverse? Oh, we reversed it?
Oh, I thought you were talking to...
I was, but now we were talking to you for a second and you were out.
Oh.
She fell asleep last time, don't worry about it. It's not... We're just summing up anyways.
Okay.
Make sure we got everything. So, she's found out some more stuff about the animals. It wasn't so much an escape, it seems, as a few here and there, but it seems a lot of them went at the same time.
Basically, somehow...
Okay, now on to... We'll finish on yours. Is your situation... is, first of all, the military doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
They won't talk to me anymore.
You know what they're talking about as far as the item they're talking about they've hidden. It is a black textured suit. It covers the whole body. It seemed to be made of plastic as far as it looked like to you. Didn't seem to have any money, didn't seem to have any weapons or anything on it directly. Like no guns, no backpack or anything. But you know, they've been studying super soldier suit concept for years now.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be so along those lines. But they don't want you to have any proof of it. Now, what you need to do is set up and decide on how you want to go about best way to go and search that building again.
Yeah.
See if there's any proof on that. Just like as well, and maybe think about this until we game next, if we do game tomorrow. First two issues, and I'll give you these to like focus on because of your genius. This would give you this enough to like look in this direction. You've been more focused on where have they gone. But you're going to find out more about what is going on. Thinking about issues like how'd they get taken? Who took them? Who may have known enough about them?
Yeah.
Why were they left where they were? And then, what happened here? What happened here has to be related because whoever had your guns ended up here stealing canisters and leaving your guns.
That's what blows my mind is why did he leave the guns?
So those are notes if you want to sit down and write.
Yeah.
And see when you work out the details on it. Yours, you're getting pretty far on finding out what happened to the animals here and there. Let's go down the list. Alligator is possibly running out in the swamp. issue in your mind could be if he is a human, he's being hunted as an animal right now. Okay, next is the owl. Checking through records now more intently because she's also being more willing to give you more records and more access to stuff. Because she wants to know too. Make sure they're safe. The owl had this weird effect that when it was in the cage, if it woke up and the cage was uncovered, the lights would go out in that room. Until they covered the cage, the lights would come back on. The one thing you'll find is an unknown at the time, but later on now you've found. There's two issues. One, yes, you found all the information in the picture and everything of the subject you're talking about, the guy you saw across the street. And you were introduced as Ares. That's not his name. His name is unknown. Also known as Circus Geek. That's all he's got for a name. You find something that kind of shows that he kind of changed his name. It's not an official legal name change yet. To the name Ares. Which is actually, if you look up the name, it's the name of a gun. You have an AK? It's actually the name of two companies. Ares, and I can't remember the other name of the company. But Ares still makes guns now, automatic guns. So he may have seen one, which is odd. The experiment was done on him by Fort Maxwell.
But you're not going to talk to them because they won't talk to you.
Nope, they won't talk to me.
You guys haven't talked to each other. So, and you're going to need some help on investigating this room. You know, this bunker. And some better lights. Or coming here during the day, but still there's not lights in here much. You got to think about how they got him out of here. Barrels are not light. And there's no, you can't drive a forklift around here. And if you came in with a, now what you could do is you come in with a heavy enough level boat,
You might be able
wide enough base that wouldn't sink so much, and then have a crane on it. But someone should have seen that. And the only thing you do have to keep in mind is there were Indians sighted in the area off and on. On the reports by the old guard, he'd seen Indians right around the outside edge. He doesn't know what they're doing out there. He feels like some kind of guy at a fort. They've not fired at him or anything like that. He's heard gunshots and stuff, but nothing at him. They're probably out there hunting. But he doesn't know, and it made him nervous. And then this all happened, and he's dead now. And those are straight up the Seminole Indians tribe that he's talking about out there. But you also have people that live in the swamp. Just swamp people. We're not talking like lizards or anything. They're just people live in the swamp. There's a movie or TV series about them on her History Channel. Swamp people. They also believe in Loup Garou, but that's beside it. So, there we go. I'll work up some karma for next time. Because especially you found out a lot more on the animal stuff. Give you some stuff to think about. You have a lot you got to like piece together. As far as, because it had to do with robbery at your place.
Yeah.
Details, if you want to think about, is it was a upper story job. You have no proof that anyone got in, like ran in across the ground or went over the fence or something like that.
Can't figure out how they get it in and out.
Yeah, maybe they teleported. Bye bye.
Don't I?
Yeah.